Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Let's Play Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. This is episode number 7 of the series, and today we are going to be checking out this little section here. I don't know what I would call it. I would call it the training dojo myself, but this is like the trick master, I guess is what he's officially calling himself. We did need to take a brief moment here at the beginning of the episode because I realized we did not learn how to get the TM, or the hidden move for Cut, which is pivotal in making our way through this back room. So we'll need that before we end up going through it. I believe there's one person in like the city with the rock type gym leader we need to talk to in order to get that move. So you can see we've now learned it. I've taught it to Fireball there. So now we're going to make our way through here, and we're going to actually beat up all the trainers and continuing on our progression here. It's a pretty straight shot from here. I guess a lot of this is just going to be, maybe it'll just be called the Trick Master episode, but a lot of it is going to be treating, or training up Landshark, I guess, is like the short-term goal for this episode. So, just continuing to make progress on that. This really is, I know in the past, when we've done Pokemon Let's Plays, I've had a few episodes that were like training to be the very best trainer, and things like that, were like the titles of the episodes. This is gonna fall along those lines, right? It's gonna be a very trainer-heavy episode, so if that's not your jam, hey, I appreciate you watching to the 2-minute mark. Feel free to peace out, and we'll see y'all here on the next one, but, for those that are interested in watching me actually train up my Pokemon, having some battles here that could be a little bit infuriating, stay tuned. So Miller was put to sleep there. Quite a bit of a headache, obviously, when that kind of stuff happens in the middle of an episode. It's not fun, to say the least. Yeah, right, they're doing the same status stuff that I was doing to them, only they're doing it back in my direction, which makes it more of a headache to deal with. I wake up, I use Water Pulse here. That should hopefully knock out the Pokemon. It doesn't, but it causes confusion, which I'll take. Causing confusion is better than doing nothing, so that's always a plus. You know, we'll take that any day of the week that we possibly can. We come swooping in, hopefully getting that victory, baby. And there we go, the Pokemon's knocked out. Let's see what we got next. Oh, we defeated the last, that's right. Sorry if you can't tell, yeah, the Soda Pops are riding strong here today on the Average Joe episode. I've been really good about getting things done ahead of time, but the Donkey Kong episode that came out yesterday and this episode coming out right now, today, I did here on the 29th, which is a little bit close for comfort for myself. I usually like to be about a week ahead of time. Kind of fell off track there, with just moving and things like that. I know I've shared in previous episodes. There's just a lot of things going on here on the Average Joe side of things. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a week that I take off or anything like that, but if I do plan to go down that course, I will share that with you guys ahead of time. You know, just so that way you're aware that things might be delayed, but I really don't foresee that happening as long as everything goes according to schedule, but you never know, right? Go cut down these trees. Honestly, I think like Generation 3 is notoriously very hard for myself, but I do feel like it's quite a breeze this time around, and I do want to give credit for something that I usually knock. I think it's the experience share, right? I think it's making all the world of difference here that all my Pokemon are sort of like leveling up around the same sort of time period. That like it just makes things world easier. I might go back and actually catch a Ralts here at some point in time. I think it's going to be very useful throughout the series. If I don't do that, which I really don't want to do that, if I'm going to be candid here, I don't want to do that because I've used Ralts so many times on the team. Gardevoir turns into an amazing Pokemon, especially in this generation here. It gets both the Psychic and Fairy typing, which is very dominant in this game. So I'm really tempted to do it, but I also just want to catch like a ghost type or something like that. That learns a psychic type move that helps sets us up for future gym battles and things like that. But we'll see how it carries out here. But here you can see I'm using Jameson, sort of trying to work my way out of the opponent, as always. You know, a good strategy here. And as I've said in previous episodes, I'm kind of working on like the siding. I think this Pokemon Alpha Sapphire here to the left-hand side of the screen might be as far as I go with it. Maybe I'll add like my face in the bottom right corner or something like that. But I think for the time being, this is what I'm going to go with. The next Pokemon Let's Play I have coming up, I know I didn't do like an average Joe what to expect in 2024, and that's because I have so many plans and get to about half of them every single year that I put out those episodes, and then I feel bad that I didn't cover the Let's Plays. But I do think after this we're going to be playing either Pokemon Black or Pokemon White once we wrap up this Let's Play. And then to replace Donkey Kong Country there, we're going to be having a very, very long Let's Play Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I plan to at least make my way through episodes 1 through 6. After that, I kind of lose interest in Star Wars, if I'm going to be honest. But not to say that I lose total interest. The Clone Wars, the Ahsoka series, what's the one with the character with Rogue One coming out here? Andor. Yeah, very, very good series, but like I felt like episodes 7, 8, and 9 were just not my cup of tea. And I still really want to come out with, like, if I was to rewrite the Star Wars series, how would I do so? I want to come out with those episodes, but with moving and everything like that, it's a headache. It's a headache. What can I say? But here we go. We're coming up against a bug type with our electric typing, which means not a whole lot. And it's resistant to it, so we need to switch out immediately. Which means Miller is going to have his time to shine today. Honestly, like, for as much crap as I give Miller as a Pokemon, he's kind of like middle of the road, is how I would put him out there. You know what I would say? Like, people always talk crap about the line of Pokemon here, right? I would agree with them. Like, Miller and his evolution kind of stink as Pokemon, but the dual typing between water and flying is actually pretty dominant until you get to electric types. Outside of that, though, it's a very, very great typing. Like, I feel like there are a lot of advantages to it. Every time I use a Pelipper, or whatever he's called here, a Wingull Pelipper line, I get very humbled with, like, I know that the stats are complete and absolute garbage, but he just hangs on as a Pokemon and does what he needs to do, like the vast majority of the time. Like, it's so surprising to me how well he does with how bad the stats are. And I never want to finish the game with him, but I would say for like an early level Pokemon, he's phenomenal. He does such a great job. We love Miller on the team as of now. He's not going to stay here forever, but, you know, he definitely doesn't do us any injustices, which is a big thing. I mean, if you can just get past that, he does a great job. We want to pick up whatever the heck this is. A scroll. Yeah, that's going to help us get past the ending section here. You can see I'm getting a little bit better with the controls. I feel like things are a little less janky this episode too. Like, the emulator's doing a better job reading the cartridge and things like that, which is always very nice. Like I've said in the past, there are definitely ways that are not above board to play these games on an emulator. For legal reasons, I have to state that I bought this game. I own it in its entirety. And, the version that you are seeing right now being emulated is a legal copy of this game. I do not encourage individuals to go out and use websites and things like that to find illegal ROMs of this game. But Yeah. I just sort of have to state that. In case there's any question about how this game was played, everything was done above board. If you're going to choose to do so, not above board, I discourage it, but you do you. Just don't advertise that on a public website. But here we go. Got Electrike, of course, Landshark coming out. I'm gonna skip through as many of these battles as humanly possible. We're looking to make our way to the next town at this point in time. We beat the Trickmaster. Maybe I'll name the episode like the Trickmaster and more. Maybe something like that. I think the Trickmaster is the highlight of the focus of this episode. You know, it's our main thing. A lot of these training things that we can do just don't equate to much. Like I said, this is like a training to be the very best sort of trainer kind of episode. You know, nothing substantial plot-wise is going to go on here, but we do get some good training and we learn some new moves. I don't know if there's any evolutions. I kind of forget. I honestly don't believe there is. Pokemon's like one of those weird games that, like, when I get into it, I film like 13 episodes at a time. And then I have to come back and do the voiceover at a later date. But I do all the editing and stuff, whereas Donkey Kong Country is like one of those games where it's like, oh my god, I hate doing this every second of it. And yeah, it's not to speak bad on that game, but it's just so grindy in nature. Whereas Pokemon, I feel like I could spend a whole day playing Pokemon games. It just sort of gives me a mission and I run with it. Whereas other games, like I said, especially Donkey Kong Country, where it's just sort of like, hey, figure this out and spend all your time figuring it out, can be aggravating, to say the least. Especially to make a Let's Play out of. But like I said in the Donkey Kong videos, if you would like to see me do any live streams of these games, please let me know in the comments down below. Definitely something I'm open to. I like to keep these episodes relatively short. I like to keep everything under the 20-minute mark anymore. I feel like that's like a really, really good spot to keep things. Definitely keeps attention and doesn't drag things on. But, you know, these episodes definitely take, I mean, this one in particular probably took about 45 minutes just because I had to go back, I had to get cut, I had to travel through all those areas again, things like that. And then, like, you know, if there's an evolution, you have to keep that evolution in there and things of that nature. So, if you're interested in seeing me do, like, the whole process from start to finish and you want to see that on the live stream, drop that down in the comments below. Look at Jameson is evolving. That's what I'm talking about, baby. But yeah, if you're interested in that stuff, drop it in the comments below. If not, I'll continue to do the highlights like I'm doing here. We got Jameson evolving. And that is going to evolve into Breloom, which is a Pokemon that is going to stick with us to the end of the game. I know we're going to be doubling up on Fighting type here with our Fire type, Fighting type starter. And then Breloom, of course, with the Grass Fighting type. But Breloom is such an excellent Pokemon. Like, above and beyond what I would expect out of a Pokemon in this generation. It's so good. I haven't used it on a team yet, just because I like an all-out attacker, and that's not what Breloom really is. You know, it's more strategically played and things like that, but I am extremely looking forward to using it on the team here as a companion that's going to make it to the end of the game. I mean, as like a Pokemon that you find on like the initial routes of the game, it is above and beyond excellent. And I've loved it so far throughout the game. So let's keep Jameson going. If you like Jameson on the team, drop that in the comments down below too. Like a Let's Go Jameson or something along those lines. We all know I've named the Pokemon this time around after soda pops that I particularly like. Landshark here is probably the only exception. I enjoy a Landshark soda pop here on a vacation. I'll give it that. On a beach, it's nice. Jameson is a very more casual drink for myself, though. That's a casual soda pop for me. There we go. We made our way through that little route there. You can see we have the soda pops in the bag, which is funny as I go on about it. We'll be giving them to our Pokemon more and more as the series go here. But I want to talk to these guys. I want to see what trainers are here. He said, I tried to do my best to battle like every trainer that we come across that could give us like a potential advantage in a gym fight or against other trainers or rivals or things like that. You know, any little thing that could provide us an advantage, I'm going to try and seek out, but you know, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. A Whalmer. Okay, no, yeah, Landshark should be able to handle this. Probably going to take 2 hits. But with that being said here, ladies and gentlemen, there is about 2 minutes left. So I want to do my outro. If you like this episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. All that good stuff is greatly motivational for myself and completely free on your end. If you do comment, I give you my word, I will respond to it. It may take a day or two with me moving and things like that, but I do try to get back in as timely as a fashion as I humanly can. But yeah, these episodes here will continue to come out every Tuesday and Thursday. And then we have Donkey Kong Country going on Mondays and Wednesdays. Once we wrap up with Donkey Kong Country, we'll be moving into Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. And once we wrap up with this series, which I know we have a long, long ways to go, but we'll be moving into yet another Pokemon game, I believe, Pokemon Black or White. And, you know, we have a lot of Let's Plays to get through this year. I didn't do like a full breakdown of the Let's Plays, but I know we got a lot of Kingdom Hearts, Halo, maybe even Sonic the Hedgehog, and maybe even some other things that have not been featured on the channel before. So if you look forward to any of those things, drop them down in the comments below. If there's anything that's easily emulated / purchased, because I don't want to do things that aren't above board that you really want to see, drop that down in the comments below as well. I'm pretty open to pretty much anything on like Xbox or the Switch. PC, it gets a little bit tricky, but if it's emulated, I really don't mind. But you know, it's a whole different story. But if you have any suggestions, drop that down in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you all had a fantastic holiday season, being as this is coming out the 2nd of January. And I hope you all stick through it with another year. I appreciate all of you checking out this video. And yeah, just great. I hope you all enjoy the holidays, or at least did enjoy the holidays. And we'll see you all here on the next one. As always, peace out, Girl Scout, and we'll see you all here next time. With Pusser!